Hi, good morning. Welcome to this presentation on mechanical engineering at the University of Bradford. My name is Dr. Kavian Cooke, and I'm program leader for the BEng in mechanical engineering. I'm also assistant professor in automotive systems engineering, and I'll just tell you a little bit about myself and also the program that we have here at the University of Bradford. So for my background, I have a PhD in materials engineering. I also have an MPhil in tribology and a BEng in mechanical engineering. And tribology is the science of frictional wear. So we look at interacting surfaces and how they behave when they start rubbing together. I also have an MBA in management. I also have several professional memberships. I'm a member of the IET, a member of also the Jamaica Institution of Engineers. I'm a member of the Caribbean Academy of Science and also the Material Society. I also have a fellowship in with the Higher Education Academy, which is a recognition of your work in teaching and learning. Now, here at the University of Bradford, we have a very dynamic and innovative mechanical engineering program. When we define mechanical engineering, we essentially look at applying the principles of physics, math, and material sciences for design and development of several solutions directed at sustainability in society or finding specific solutions for challenges that are facing us as a human race. At Bradford, we operate under this CDIO initiative, which is a quite innovative framework that is built for creating uh, an educational program that teaches the fundamentals of mechanical engineering, but also gives them that hands-on application of the theory that they're learning or the fundamentals that they're learning. So CDIO means conceive, design, implement, and operate. And it's an initiative or framework that was developed back in the 2000s between MIT and four Swiss universities. And it's quite a dynamic framework that is now taught globally. So Bradford is a part of that consortium. Now, the CDIO means that you're teaching the fundamentals and also the students are applying those fundamentals to solving specific challenges or real world challenges as a part of their curriculum. And this is normally done as a part of projects. So with group project modules, there are four group project modules that are covered over the 4 years. In stage one, students do design build tests. In stage two, there's a group project that students typically do. In stage three, there's integrated design where they're solving a challenge for a whole academic year they're spending to solve that particular challenge. And then in year four, the MEng team project is normally giving the students an opportunity to solve a larger challenge with application of knowledge that would have been garnered since their first year all the way through to their final year. Now, in year one, and this is what is unique about Bradford program, there's a common year one, which gives students this multidisciplinary approach to engineering, where they're exposed to not only mechanical engineers, but also chemical, civil, biomedical, a whole spectrum of engineers where they're able to work together. Now, in this year group, they're working on three projects. There's a water pump project. There's also a wind turbine project, and I'm showing pictures of those two here. There's a transporter challenge project, and then there are several interdisciplinary projects where they're working as a part of a team. And this is another training part of the program where students get a feel as to how you work as a part of a team, because many times in the industry, mechanical engineers are not working in isolation, but they're working as a part of a team. We're also accredited by the Institution of Mechanical Engineers, which asserts the quality of our program. Now, all successful applicants who come into our program are offered uh, to be a part of the MEng Integrated Master's course. And the MEng Integrated Master's course is critical to persons who are interested in registering as a chartered engineer. And I would assume that all engineers who come into our program are interested in being chartered engineer because it's the recognition that you get from your profession and assertion of the quality of your studies that you've gone through. So having done your 4-year program, you can then register as a chartered engineer once you've acquired the required uh, industry experience after you've left the program. So it's an internationally recognized qualification. So when you have your chartered engineer status in the UK, you can essentially work anywhere in the world. I myself is a chartered engineer, and from that I'm able to register as professional engineer in several other jurisdictions as well. Now the MEng also carries this placement year option where students get the opportunity to go and work in industry, and I'll speak to you a little bit about that as well. So for your placement year, the students get the chance to work directly with one of our industry partners, and there's several partners that we have working in industry. And the students get the opportunity to build a network, apply the knowledge that they've been learning at the university for at least 3 years, and that network that they build in industry, that network is for life, and it's especially important when the students leave their program and they enter into industry. Is the first place that they can call. There's a group of people that are already established that they can get support from as well. I've listed here just a few of those companies that we work closely with: Cummins, Network Rail, uh, Punch Powertrain, Jaguar Land Rover. There are a lot of companies that we work closely with as well. Now, another advantage of being at Bradford is that we are research led. Our teaching is always research led. So the people that teach you are the academics and professors and associate professors and assistant professors that teach you in your classes. These are also experts that also consult and teach in industry as well. So I've listed some logos here. These are institutions or companies in industry that we work closely in delivering training programs with in several areas. I've also listed some of those programs here. We have brake system noise research that's going on. There's polymer research, there's engine friction, lubrication and wear, which comes under tribology research. And all of that informs our teaching. So when we said research led, when we discover something in our lab, it is integrated in our curriculum as well to reinforce and strengthen our curriculum. There are opportunities for students to study abroad, to work with partner institutions in several other countries. There's Erasmus program. Recently, we had 3 students coming from Egypt and Jordan to study with us here for a semester. And our students also have a similar opportunity. For final year projects, there are several projects that typically come in from industry, and these normally come in through our industry advisory board. So you have students who are in the program working directly with industry, not as a placement, but as a part of their regular training as a student. They are able to work with industry, and that gives them even more exposure and more opportunity to apply the knowledge that they're learning. Another significant benefit you get from being at Bradford is that there's a multidisciplinary approach to our projects, and multidisciplinary in the sense that even though you're learning mechanical engineering, but there's maybe a civil engineering component to the project or an electronics component to the project. So you get exposure to several other disciplines. If you should take a chance to look at our curriculum, you'll see that it's designed to give you a rounded perspective on engineering. So you're taught the mechanical foundations, but you're also exposed to some electrical engineering, some controls engineering, chemistry, physics, math. Those are the fundamentals as well. And then deep into material science, mechanics, fluid mechanics, and so on. So we have quite a comprehensive program that prepare you for industry. And when I say industry, maybe I should say industries, because there are several places that mechanical engineers can go and can work. So I've listed here just several or many industries with various salaries. I've had one student who left our program and went on to work for a hedge fund in London, where he's applying his exposure to the modeling softwares and Python and C++ and those programs to creating financial models. So you're not limited to working in manufacturing, although that also creates a good career perspective for our graduates. So there's power generation, mining, mineral, there's pharmaceuticals, there's manufacturing, there's biochemical engineering, there are several other areas. And if you decide, like myself, that you don't want to go off and work in industry, but you want to continue in academia, then you can also move on to doctoral programs or master, other MSc programs as well, which we have at University of Bradford. So when you look at the number of doctoral degrees that are awarded, you'll see that mechanical engineers are typically at the top of that list because mechanical engineering is so broad that it covers several other areas. And as such, you'll find that students who leave mechanical engineering to go off into industry or to in academia have several opportunities and options in their career advancements. So thank you very much for listening to this presentation. If there are any further questions that you have, please get in touch with us here at the University of Bradford. We're happy to welcome you to our program.